Yeah, welcome everybody for the press conference of an exciting round 14 in the 2025 DTM season. We are 2 races away from finishing the championship, and again a drama-filled race today. With ends we see first DTM victory of this season for Ricardo Feller, and historic first DTM victory for Land Motorsport, and the first victory of the season for Audi, of course. Then we have in P2, like yesterday, we have Thierry Vermeulen for Emil Frey Racing Ferrari, and our old and new championship leader claimed the podium in his home race. So congrats for P3, for Lucas Auer, for Mercedes-AMG Team Landgraf. So, Ricky, congrats. There was a great victory today. So, was that the reward for your really ambitious project with Audi in the DTM this season?
Yeah, it was definitely worth it, I would say. Feels very good, especially here on the Red Bull Ring, where I was for sure not expecting it when I was traveling here with the Audi and then in dry condition. But today everything was just going right with P2 in quali, with a little bit of help of Thierry. So thanks for that. And then yeah, good race. Actually, our tire deck was really good today. We didn't have any tire deck, or not as big as yesterday. So the guys did a good job also in the setup today. So very proud of the whole crew.
What does that victory mean to you and to the Land Motorsport crew, which you are very close with since a couple of years?
Yeah, it means everything to me. I mean, all of the guys are good friends of mine, and yeah, they were one important part in my career. And we already had some nice victories and celebrations, and now this is the next step. And obviously, when we did that late call project this year, I wasn't expecting us to fight for the championship or to fight for victories. But now we still got one, and we got a very nice podium also in Nürburgring. So yeah, we're doing a good job, I think. Still some stuff to improve for sure, but this you always have. But I think the base is there for them to be a very competitive DTM team in the future.
So, always you said it, historically Red Bull Ring hasn't been the most favorite track for drivers of a car with 4 rings on it. Yesterday we saw the historical first ever Audi victory in GT Masters in dry conditions. So, and today was the first Audi R8 victory on the Red Bull Ring in DTM in dry conditions. So, what makes the car so good here? Is it just after you drive here 7-8 years with the same car, it at the end is quick here, or what makes the difference?
Yeah, I mean, our strength for sure is the braking. That's also where in some places I could gain a lot. For example, to Thierry, we are still missing a little bit of torque out of the corners, but today somehow it was not as bad as in the past. I don't know what changed. We have a new tire this year. Maybe this is also helping us a bit suddenly. So far in the seasons on tracks where we thought, yeah, we should be okay, like Sachsenring, for example, or Zandvoort, we were struggling a lot. And now here, where we didn't have a lot of very high expectations, suddenly we are standing here. So a bit difficult to understand, but for sure the guys at one point will have an explanation for it.
So let's talk a little bit about the race today. You started P2, and then yeah, you brought yourself in a very good position to Thierry. So what was the tactics for your race today?
Yeah, I just tried to manage a bit the tire, not to drop as big as yesterday, which worked well. At one point the gap was actually quite big, so I thought, yeah, it will be tough to get in. But then suddenly, lap by lap, I could get a little bit closer again, and then I just got a better exit out of turn 7 at one point, and yeah, could do the attack on him. But it was a good fight actually. I enjoyed it, and then after I drove for my life to get a big gap. not because I don't trust my guys, but to maybe take a little bit of pressure away, which worked in the end. They did 2 very good pit stops, and yeah, I'm proud of them.
Okay, thank you, Ricky. Then moving on to P2. Terry, that was your best ever weekend in DTM so far, with a pole position and 2 podium finishes, two times P2. But I guess you're a little bit disappointed that the final spot was missing today?
Yeah, I mean, for sure, when you start from pole, you want to try and win the race. But I think if we look at the weekend as a whole, we did a very good job. We got a lot of points and also just 2 very clean races. Today, not enough for the victory, unfortunately. After the start, it was just, I think I was pushing a bit too much to try and make a gap as well. So we had the same plan, but it didn't work out so well for me. And at one point, I just the tires were just dropping, and I knew it was going to be tough. So then once he got past, I just tried to stay clean. Because with the 2 pit stops, a lot can still happen. But then at one point, the gap stabilized, and that was the race more or less over. But like I said, I think we can be very proud with the double podium and strong qualifying this morning, and hopefully we can analyze it and have also a strong weekend in Hockenheim.
At Red Bull Ring, you were always quick in the past. Now very successful also. So, what makes you so quick around here? Or is this a special track, or suits your driving style, or?
It's always difficult to say. I think what I like about this track in qualifying is that you first of all you get several laps to do it, but it's also super important to put the whole lap together, and that just worked out very nicely this morning. And in general, it's a great track. I think it's also fun now with the 3 sets of tires. You have to manage a bit. Some people can manage a bit on the Saturday, and also if you start outside the top 10, you can do some different things on the strategy. So I think on a track like this, where the deck normally is not too high, it adds another factor. And all in all, it was just a very nice weekend.
So before the final round at Hockenheim, we only have 9 drivers with a theoretical chance of claiming the DTM championship this year. So who would you say has the best chance to become a champion from your perspective? What's your bet?
Yeah, I mean, of course, I hope that Jack has a good shot. I mean, the team really deserves it. We've made a very good jump this year. Of course, an unfortunate weekend for him, losing a lot of points. But I hope it will be a nice battle, and hopefully it will be behind me in Hockenheim and we can be at the front again.
Okay, thank you, Jerry. Then Lugasawa, congrats. So if somebody told you before the weekend you will leave Red Bull Ring as a championship leader, what would you say?
I would sign the deal straight away. No, but overall, especially today, a very good day. First of all, big thanks to the team. They're doing anyway the whole year already a mega job. And also this weekend, we support each other very well. And today was cool to give something back also to Austrian fans, because normally here is actually quite bad. Yeah, so I'm very happy for at least this P3 and to give something back. And obviously leading the championship again is super.
So how did your race go? So you struggled a little bit yesterday. That was not a very good day, but today things were obviously looking much better. So did you change something with the car, or did you make some setup changes?
We were fine-tuning all the time, but no big changes. And today we, in qualifying we had the red flag. We managed it so well. We got the gaps right. So I really think today we delivered, and the qualifying made our race because we did not have the speed. Yeah, but I could stay where I am, and then because of good strategy and good pit stop, I could manage the P3, and this was really important. And yesterday we tried to maximize. Okay, not everything went right, but anyway we really did not have the speed, and so I would say the key was qualifying today and great strategy plus 2 good pit stops.
So you were in the race, you were in a really wild group. In the beginning, there was Fabio Scherer, then there was Arjun and Rene all around, and Jordan also. So it was a very wild, very competitive group there. So how did you manage that?
I didn't manage. It was, as it was really crazy and wild. Actually, now because you say it, now I remember. It was really a wild first lap, and but anyway, it worked out well for me. And yeah, but this anyway now is quite tough because you have to somehow not drive safe, but to manage. But obviously, you cannot be too safe, otherwise you just lose spots because there are other guys. For them, they just look on each individual race. So it's quite tough at the moment, but for me it worked out well, and afterwards it was just full push and try to be perfect with strategy and everything.
So 3 weeks at Hockenheim, you're the championship leader by 7 points now. Yeah, you have been in this position in the past, so you're quite experienced, old DTM hand. So what is your opinion about going to Hockenheim now with a chance of winning the championship?
I mean, the only thing I can say, we as a team, we will prepare as good as possible, and we will be ready for Hockenheim. And then I just hope for a fair fight, and the best one should win. And I think that's also best for DTM and for everybody. But we will prepare each other, and we will be ready.
So we have nine drivers or 8 other drivers fighting beside you, fighting for the championship. Isn't that crazy?
Yes, but it was anyway a very wild championship up to now. I think for everybody in terms of results but I think for spectators it's amazing. It will be really a crazy final in Hockenheim. It's a cool track. It's a mega track also to race, to overtake. So it will be a really good title showdown.
So you would recommend to attend Hockenheim anyway?
Yes.
You will be there. Okay, thank you. Do we have here questions from the floor? Sven, from you?
Yeah, congrats to you guys. Question for Luki now, heading for Hockenheim. You're in the lead, which is of course the perfect position, but which of your opponents in the title fight do you rate the highest, or you think will be the most scary guy to fight against?
I rate them all. I think every manufacturer has a couple of good guys for the last race. And as I said before, I just hope it will be a fair, a straight fight, and should the best driver win, yeah, and the best team, and that's it. But they can all win. Let's say it like this: there's not one specific guy who you have to watch out more. They are all super experienced, super drivers, have great team manufacturers behind them. So I think the most important is that we have a straightforward fight, and then it should be a cool showdown.
Is there anything different for you, also with the experience from the past, to have a chance to win the title, if you compare it a little bit?
No, not much. I mean, 22 I was a little bit different, as I had a little gap to Sheldon, but no, it's anyway, at the end of the day, you have to find your setup and have to deliver in qualifyings and races, and then you have to see what your opponents do and how far up the grid you can go.
Let's talk a little bit also about the first lap that you were also talking about before. There was a situation when Fabio Scherer was coming from the inside. It was at this Gösser turn. How did you experience that, and have there been other scary moments?
This was scary because I think he went in the middle between Jake and me. So was quite on the edge, but also this worked out quite okay for me. But as always, anyway, now we are in the second half of the season. Everybody is very aggressive. Everybody has his goals and wants to achieve it. So I think from the outside for spectators it's great. We are really, with GT3 cars, we can lean on each other. It's proper racing, not too much complaining. So I think great for the show.
Okay, a question for Ricardo. You said before, thank you for the help from Thierry. What exactly were you referring to?
To qualifying. I was taking a slipstream for 3 laps, and it was helping me a bit on the straights. So this probably helped me also to put the car in the position we ended up quali.
it was a very unusual point where you started the overtaking move against Thierry. Maybe you can talk us through that a little bit.
Yeah, like I said before, I just turned 4, 6, and then also 7. I got slightly better, so I came a bit closer. And then the important one was turn 7 exit, where I think he had a little bit of a slide and maybe had to lift again, and I could already be on full throttle, and then I just could profit again from the slipstream to try to make the attack in turn 9, which worked out.
And in turn 1, I think you also had a wild drift, as far as I remember.
In turn 1? In the start, you mean?
No, after the overtake. We were coming sideways. It looked a little bit like this.
Yeah, it can be. I don't really remember. I mean, yeah, okay, I will watch it. But yeah, the car is anyway on the limit, and as we know, with the Audi, you have to drive every lap probably like this, and then yeah, at one point the tire can just give up.
Question for Thierry: was there any chance to hold Ricciardo, because of course he was in your back and pushing a lot?
Like I said, I think he was just a little bit faster towards the end of that first stint, and I mean, you still have so long in the race to go that you can fight and try and push each other off. But I think that wasn't the point. I knew he was going to be a bit faster, so I wanted to stay as close as possible and see if maybe we can get the position back after. But that was not the case. I think we maximized the time, let's say, from the start to finish, and we tried to do it as clean as possible. I will look back at it, see if I can do anything different, but I think we can be happy with it at the end of the day.
And the final one for Ricciardo. This was a victory now with the Audi car that you've been driving a couple of years now. Maybe you have some words also about that car, because it might be the last victory in DTM for the Audi R8.
There are still 2 races in Hockenheim, and the track normally is not the worst for the Audi, I would say. Now, I mean, for sure, I guess it's the oldest car in the field. So, yeah, proud to still achieve that with this car. Yeah.
Okay, then thank you everybody. And then there is one thing to go in Hockenheim. See you everybody in 3 weeks. Thank you and take care.